Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Amanda. Oh, here we go. Wasn't ready yet. Okay, I think we're ready now. We started too soon. Hi, good morning. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Amanda, the program director here at the Senior Center in Great Milford, Connecticut. And this morning we have Italian cultural class with Anna. So enjoy your trip to Italy and have a great day. Stay healthy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care, Anna.
Thank you for giving me the permission to be here with my friends. Amici, buongiorno. Buongiorno to everyone that's just coming today for the first time. Buongiorno. I'm waiting to remove my mask. Let's be off to our group, to our meeting, to our encounters for the first time. So if you don't mind, people, I'm going to say buongiorno to my people here at our Italian class or meeting that come over a long period of time. For example, you know, who is the one that puts everybody together is Marco. Enjoy and find out who is Marco, that he has all the time news and searching on the computer for all the stories from Italy. And then again, buongiorno to Angela, buongiorno to Virgin, buongiorno to Vittorio and his wonderful wife, buongiorno to Elisabetta, buongiorno to Filomena, buongiorno to Vittorio numero due, and on and on and on to all our friends that always have one idea in life. You know what is it? Do you really want to know why these people really want all the time more than bread and wine? Be together. And that I am in very thankful, interesting fact about Italy for today. Today, and I'm going to share with you something that's happening in my family. So, Les lives in Rome. I left for Italy because I fell in love with American students. And he was studying architecture in Rome, American. Then he came to Assisi, and the story goes that he wanted home, right? She is married, and somehow life really has between twin sister life goes along together because she marries someone that lived here that was working for NASA in Virginia and then came back to Italy. So that was lived in America for 10 years. So somehow we're all connected. Then we have a brother. So two girls, we have a brother. And it just happened that today is my brother wedding anniversary. He married 59 years ago, Yolanda. So today I want to share with you the anniversary, the feast, the celebration that is happening in Assisi, where I came from, of my brother with Yolanda. And this kind of, it gave me the idea, this anniversary of my brother, to search. And I know Marco is going to go immediately. Marco, I'm going to tell you immediately the topic of the day. The tradition, what your parents did, the way they acted when you wanted to get married, when you wanted to go out with someone, and sometimes you felt that those were very old way to be, and they were ritual. They were not supposed to happen in this new country of America, right? And instead, now I want to kind of show you today that those traditions that your parents were showing to you, most of them from the South, uh, they were not just because. It was not just because they felt, oh, I'm going to do this because I like it, because my personality, because I believe in this. No, they were within their personality, but they were so strong. It's like, you know, for a long time, if you're going to walk with, for example, with your arm strapped to your the shoulder or to whatever, that muscle is going to stay stiff and it's going to keep it like that for a long time. And so those were these traditions. Because imagine this, we go back to the Roman Empire. Okay, I wanted to know why and how this tradition started. They started even early, but let's look at into that moment. And into that moment, more than 2,000 years ago, we're going to see that there was the Emperor Augustus. You heard about it, right? It was the big guy. Well, the big guy wanted to, everyone wanted to get married to make this empire stronger than ever. And he was so strong about that that he had a tax. Okay? And everyone that, if they didn't get married by that age, everybody had to pay a big ticket, right? It was so strong, this law, that you know what? Mussolini looking, before he became little nuts, he was looking to make Italy strong again because after the first war, it kind of went down. So he wanted to rebuild Italy, but before going crazy, okay? He was giving out to everybody 1,000 lire. At the time when the bread is only a dime, that was a lot. And in fact, we have a story within our family. Now, my father got married 1930, before the war, because he used those 1,000 lire to go on his honeymoon. So the tradition lasted for 2,000 years. So Augusto was pushing law because he wanted everybody to build a big empire. The way they get married now in the ancient Roman times, there were many different ways. Bride, future bride and groom, and everything would be accepted by law. Remember, during those days, it was not important love. Love was came from Hollywood. They created this kind of uh, emotional being between the people. At the beginning, every type of marriage, weddings, it was an institution, but an institution for society. The war where every day somebody get up and have some problem, some this, that. So they need people. How you make people? By putting two men and women together and life goes on. Okay, that was a very normal, basic fact of life, right? So there was one way to get married. You live together for 1 year. Another way that was legal, but that was the important part, okay, it was to the groom was by or father of the girl sells the girl to the new family. And this is to, property, money, economical. You want to make your property bigger, you use the girl, the bigger. All right. Third way, it was to eat. Can you imagine? So first you live it together, then you kind of sell your daughter, and then you eat. That was quite simple, huh? Not that you go to the place, there are 10 people in this place that has a witness. They bring a kind of round bread. This bread is made with fava, which is the cousin of stuff, which it passed probably 10 years, was recuperated in Italy, came to America, and it became again the glory of the legumes, the grain. Is a grain. It's a lot better than all the beans and all the stuff there because the beans sometimes can have a side effect. This one is a little more light. Okay? So 2,000 years ago, the bride and the groom go in front of those the priest, the 10 people participating to the ceremony. They have to have a slice. Or rather they did just a grabbing and taking. There were no knife. They got that piece from the bread and they had to eat this barro. In fact, the ceremony was called the Conferratio because it was a sharing of the bread. Why farro and not, for example, fagioli or astrologic ingredients to give a prosperous future to the bride and to the now, so this is the wedding, right? The ceremony. In order to go, so this is the ceremony, the preparation for the wedding. I thought it was very interesting. The preparation it was the girl, first of all, in 94, it was very, very special. I had to take a bath. It was not just because you smell better, right? Because they put all the oil in this. It was a sense of purification. You were living, it was a very important. Remember, this is not done for love or this because they said between the bride and the groom, love came after. That's what they were saying at the time. It was to the beginning and initiation of a new life, right? So, girl will take a bath. Number two, she will be wearing after that a white tunic to symbolize this new moment. And on top of this tunic, by the mom or the governess or whatever it was, the woman that helped her, there will be they will make a knot. This knot had to be tight until the husband, by the time he still was still a fiance, right? Because this was the night before. The day after, the night before, after the ceremony, the husband now will untie the knot. And that was a symbol, a knot is always a symbol of clothing. He will open the new life with her. I thought it was very neat. Another thing that lasted, and I'm going to show you over the century, the woman will go to the ceremony with the veil, never showing her face. And this veil was orange, it was not white, it was bright color. Why was it bright color, you asking? I'm going to tell you. Because the bright color, it kind of sent away all the bad energy. That's the reason why you're going to remember, I don't know, as a child or when you were children, your mama will put the little butterflies or little nuts or little design or whatever it was, a bracelet or whatever it was in red for good luck. See how long that tradition stay within our family. And it will be kind of cute because, by repeating these traditions, the past never goes away. There's always a continuation. And you can say, adapting to the new time. So we have the bag, we have the tunic, we have the veil, and we have another tradition, which I think is so cute. Let me tell you. So there is a design, under the table there or on top of the table, whatever it was. The groom is taking, they're arriving at the future house. They're standing in front of the door. In front of the door, there is a sheep for the future. Now, this guy is holding on his arms, right? The bride. Hope she was not too heavy because otherwise he had to go over the sheep and go into the new home. Imagine if he was not strong enough, the poor guy would die after 2 minutes. That's why he had to follow. Say to her his name. For example, in Latin, it would be Ubi Caius, and she becomes Ego Kaya, which it means he will say his name, and the bride will answer from the moment on, I have your name. I think this is just so, I almost say, exquisite, because that is the tradition of the bride carrying the name from the family, the group, the continuation. So it didn't start just because, right? But because at the moment after the service, the bride gets voluntarily, I hope, sometimes the name of his future husband. Oh, actually, it was an actual husband. Okay? So this is the tradition that stay. The word in some, there's so much more, so many more. They imagine they were in the big moment of the Roman Empire. Now we are going to first forward this tradition and see how they came to us over this thousand years, over the many things happened. Those somehow stay there, strong, almost strong to defeat all the circumstances, right? And so what stay? So now we go over the century, and over the century, we're going to see that the period, the time to get married is a way that the Romans decided to do, which was June. And you have a saying, right? All of you, a married spouse, it says in June. I forget me, I don't really know in English, but I know that in Italiano, la sposa si sposano giugno. The type of people was connected the coming of summer, of next summer. The best time is summer. When you see those billions and trillions of beautiful colors surrounded you with joy in the new life. So they thought if Mother Nature is resurrecting again, then it's going to be our life. So they were married, usually their day was on the summer solstice. The summer solstice, though, with Christianity, came the day of Saint John and John the Baptist. So during that day, that when Christianity came, right, the girls that wanted to get married, they were doing a very special tradition date, as early as possible. And what they did was the night of St. John, they put outside the window flowers that they got, but not the leaves, just the petals. This bowl on the window. They believe that St. John will come and bless wonderful flowers, colored flowers. And in the morning, they will wash their face. And that would be the blessing to find in 1 year the husband. Okay? And we still do that in Oakville. I remember every year as a child, my mother would say, make sure she was seeing, ahead. Make sure you put aside all those flowers. Go get the flowers for St. John. Or another way was you get a egg white, okay? Not just a egg white. You break the egg white and you put it in a glass, okay? And then you put outside the window. In the morning, the egg white is making a shade, and it will tell you what the future husband is going to do. If it's carpenter, if it's a painter, if it's this. So again, the magic night of St. John will come and present you the husband. Now, this tradition, so these are how to look for a future husband. Now, let's see those traditions from Rome, how they were applied. For example, because the majority of people of you guys come from the south of Italy, I'm going to see the southern tradition. How told you to do certain things. the first thing that comes into my mind is when I arrived here, I remember many people told me how the parents sometimes were upset because the girl got married with someone outside their country. And if I say upset, I'm not saying she's upset for the day. Sometimes that moment lasted for years. Only after the grandchildren came, they finally met with the person. I have, as many of you know, I have a restaurant right side. And, because I do have a big mouth, they told me their story, right? Nothing changed. And they said she was Italian, he was Irish. Well, don't you know that the grandfather waited 10 years to speak with this guy? He liked him. He said he never said bad things about him or whatever, but because he was Irish, he was not Italian. 10 years before really be comfortable of selling the daughter, it had to be with the same type of group. And so, same type of group. And when I got married, I went to ceremony to St. Michael Church. And my father, the pastor, 1976. My father, my family came with me because we wanted to introduce, the family to the pastor St. Michael Church. My father said, so the pastor said to my father, "So nice to meeting you. You came to America?" "Yes, I came to America because," and he was joking, but he said, "I am vendo mia figlia. I am selling my daughter." He was joking naturally, I made the decision, but just to say, he was using an expression that was done 1,000 years earlier. Very neat. So, you'll find, go in the South, the selling of the daughter, there must be the ceremony, the contract, you can say, that has to be by the same type of people. How many stories do you know that if, for example, he is rich and she is poor, they had to leave at night because the family didn't agree on that, or if she was rich and he was poor, they had to run away. And how many stories your grandparents situation. So now let's see how the pharaoh, the eating of this pharaoh was continued over the century. Well, you're going to feel so amazed because the wedding cake. Can you imagine if a wedding, we go to a wedding and there is no wedding cake? I mean, people can save money on the food, on the wine, have the usual wine, have this and that, every day. But God forbid, if you don't have that beautiful cake, it would be a disaster, right? But this is to have to, nice and happy. Well, that is exactly the way happened to having it, because at the moment of the cutting of the wedding cake, there is the music, everybody stops and there is a picture. Exactly the same tradition, a kind of with a fruit, life or cute, it's so pretty. Another thing that survives, we're not inventing anything, my friend. Everything is there, done from us to us. It is nothing. La serenata. The night before the wedding, there's no way to orchestrate that. You will go, usually with 3 people. There's a singer, there's somebody that plays the guitar, and somebody the mandolino, okay? And there could be some flute about that. that it would be a single number two, but he is in the bush, just in case the groom is getting a little nervous, he cannot do it and gets anxiety, right? He starts singing, and the moment the song goes on, he will open the window and show the smile to the future husband. And this is so important because it's like to make a public announcement to the neighbors, to the community, that he will take care of her. He will be a good husband. Because remember, when for example, they marry in two different groups, and they kind of left during the night, and there was no wedding, there was no commitment in front of the community. It was going to be he was going to be a good husband, and it was going to be a good family, a strong family. By doing the serenade, it was not just a musical entertainment, but it was like a legal presentation to the community. Yes, I will take care of this woman. And that's why you all know the beautiful songs like Yo te volví a besar, or don't, don't make me sing because today I don't have my vocal. All the beautiful songs from Napoli, Anna McCauley, Yo te volví a besar, again, as a category, or Dicelle Bouye, that's the most beautiful song. Your parents were, grandparents were singing along. They're over serenade to be done in the neighbor as a forms of loyalty to the future wife. So, so did you see how those traditions they stay? And now there were few little extra things, let me say, that they were at the ceremony had to be continued. The veil. Why everybody goes through everybody? The women, poetic, emotional, she has a long veil, everything is covered. Well, told you, that comes from the Roman, but that comes because the wedding was done between the father and man, right? And he wanted, in those days, he wanted to sell the girl so he had more privacy. The bride and groom, they never met. So they had to be, the woman had to be covered. Because as she was ugly, the husband will kind of run away, the future husband. So actually, right. So just to kind of hide herself, he will pick up his gun and say, I fool you. Now that's what I am. Okay? And so, then the problem started, probably. Who knows? But that is because there was a contract. Nothing was she was not part of this contract. Only the men will make this. So she will have this veil, this covered veil. That was still there. The cake is still there. The serenade is still there. The name, even though people sometimes now add the two things, everything is there. And probably one thing that is today more relevant, more important than before, is the emotional presence. Sometimes in the past, the emotional presence was not there because it was getting married was sense of duty for your city, for your community, for your country. There was no country, but there was a little group of villages or whatever it was. Today, we had a little bit more personal. You need to mean that. And you mean it not just with your body or mind, but you need it to be part of it with your soul. And with that, and I'm going to conclude, you can say, to kind of remind ourselves of the beauty of getting married, even though sometimes it could be a washy-washy experience, but still always beautiful because there are many memories, good, bad, all together. It's part of our life, right? And for that story, there is a wonderful myth coming from the Greeks. The story is uh, Eros, or, or love, and Apollo. Uh, there was this wonderful girl. She was not a goddess. She was just a normal girl. She had sisters. One day, was a god that saw her. A god was at the Greeks' time, okay? So we go back to the story. The god saw this girl, and she started. He fell in love. Okay? Love fell in love with the name of the girl was Psyche. At least it's in that. And so the mother of the god of love, Eros, uh, naturally felt, huh, this girl wants to take my son away. She's not even a goddess. She's just a normal human being. And to her. So outside, I must say that when he saw her, he fell in love. Said, she cannot have you. Why don't you show your face to her? You know, sometimes these mother-in-laws, they can be very, right? So one day, she was having an encounter with him, and it was so beautiful, but she never saw the face. She took a whatever light from whatever, okay? I don't know if it was an opening in the wall, whatever it was. She saw his face, and it was so beautiful. Disappeared immediately. As she went through so much, she asked all the gods to see again her love that she could not find. And he searched for her, and there was this long torment between the two of them until the god, the father, Zeus, allowed the wonderful people to get connected with love. And that is the way the Greek explain that our inner soul can never be separated from love. But as the Greek friend said, our own true self can never will be far or without love. And that is with this word, we wish you a very nice day. Until next week, remember, never being separated for love. And today we have this wonderful, the sun is coming, look through the windows. And in back of me, I have flowers to remind you always to dream flowers and to have beauty around you. Even though if tomorrow is going to rain, if the weather is going to change, no matter what, we are together and we're going to stay together. So, as always I do, God bless you. Have a very nice week. And come back next Thursday. I will be waiting for you. Okay? So,